Olá, olá! Como é que se sentem hoje? Well, hello everyone. My name is Joana Santos. I'm here today to talk about routing, more specifically TanStack Router in React in this case. So yeah, my name is Joana Santos. I'm a full-stack product engineer at XKicks. My handle is JoanaMCSA everywhere. Every social media you can find me, the handle is probably going to be JoanaMCSA. And I'm from Viseu. Anyone else here from Viseu? Okay. Anyone here from Portugal, at least? Okay, almost everyone. Okay, nice. So today's road trip. We'll start by looking at how's the routing in modern React apps nowadays. Then we'll go through why we should consider TanStack Router. Then how we can get started by using it. We'll go through how to use nested routes and parameters. We'll see how we can mask our location, and finally, how we can data fetch and prefetch data like a boss. Okay, so let's get going, shall we? Okay, routing in modern React apps. Let's talk about something we all use but secretly dread, routing, because we install React Router, and then we're there trying to find, we try to have dynamic URLs, we do that, and it starts to become a little overwhelming and a little what's happening here. So TanStack Router is going to help us with that. And routing shouldn't be feeling like your application is not it's not easy to maintain. So why should we choose TanStack Router? Well, because first of all, it's type safe, and I'm okay if you use JavaScript, but I'm a fan of TypeScript. And it's modular and nested by design, and it has built-in data loading. Okay, so let's get started. How can we get started with it? Well, first of all, like almost everything, we install the dependency of TanStack React Router. Then we create the router, and we tell TypeScript where to look at it. Just out of curiosity, a show of hands, who here works with React? Okay, and with the TypeScript? Okay, almost everyone, nice. Okay, then we wrap the router in the router provider, and that's it. Our TanStack Router is configured, and we can start jiggling with it. Okay, next we have the nested routes and parameters, and you can nest routes for layouts that compose like Lego bricks. This is the fun part of TanStack Router. You start by creating a file. Here I'm using file-based routing, but if you're migrating from React Router or something like that, you can use code-based routing, although it's not the recommended way, but you can use it. Okay, so we create a file called cities under roots, called cities/index.tsx. And this is the code automatically generated by the TanStack React Router if you have the server running. In this case, I did. Okay, the cool thing here is that this is all type safe. So if you misspell the cities, it's going to give us an error. That's all fun and games, but what if I want to have a dynamic URL? Well, instead of calling it index, we call it $ctid, which is going to trigger that it's a dynamic URL. And then on the component, we can destructure it using the useParams hook. And again, this is type safe, so if you misspell it with a capital D instead of a lower d, it will give you an error, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, what if I want search parameters then? Well, back at our index file, we have a thing that's the validate search property, and here I'm using the Zod package, but you can use something that you use in your application, or even do it yourself. But we have the validate search, and then on the Zod object, we have a page which is a number, and when it doesn't exist, it's going to catch to the number 1. Again, this is also all typed. So in the component, when you want to use it, you use again an hook, which is the use search, and you extract the page from there. And I see there's a little bit of code that's not easy to see down there, but I'll try my best. Because now I'm going to show you all of this working. Because it's pretty when it's in the PowerPoint, because everything works there, right? OK. So I have here a basic application, and you can't see anything. Oh, I knew the... No, I'm... OK, zoom. Anyone knows the zoom, zoom, zoom? It's not working. Oh, OK. Maybe I didn't do it right. OK. So it's a basic TanStack. Why is not bigger? OK, thank you. A basic TanStack router. This is a monorepo, so you'll see me using TRPC, but we'll get there, and I can show you this running. OK, page not found, that's good. OK, we have a TanStack router demo at Porto Tech Hub, which is here for those who are... OK, then we have an about page. We have the cities that don't exist now, and then we have the masked cities. We'll get there. OK, so let's do the stuff that I was showing you. OK, here in the root, we're going to create a new file, which is called city/index.tsx. And hopefully, OK, it did. I have the server running, so it should be easy, automatically generated. OK, then let's add the validate search. And I'm going to use a const validate search schema. Schema, OK. Zod object. Object. OK, yeah, it can be strict. I'm going to import the Zod. Now we have a page which is going to be a number. I'm from Viseu, so the B's and V's are almost the same thing. Catch. OK. Catch for 1. OK, and we're going to use this here. And now I can use the page from the use search. OK, and now, yeah, you do it. OK. Let's see. We don't have a page yet. Let's have some more fun. OK, we have the strict, but we have the catch. Let's take off the catch from here. Let's see. OK, we have an error. Let's put that error to a prettier thing, not this. Error component, invalid search parameters. Oh, awesome. OK, let's see if it's OK, prettier. Let me see. Let's also create the dynamic URL. New file, $cityid.tsx. Awesome. And let's see where we are. Const city ID. Yep. Yep. OK. So if I try to go to... Can you see it? Probably not, right? No, you can. OK. If we try to go to cities/Porto, it says that city ID is Porto. So it seems to be working, right? Oh, no. We still have an error with the invalid search parameters. Let me fix that. Instead of being strict... Oh, yeah. I didn't show you this without the error. OK. Page equals 1. Page equals 1. Yeah. And it's working. If we try to have it like a string, it says again that it's invalid. OK, let's do the catch so it's easier for us from now on to see things working. OK, let's get going, if this helped me. OK. OK, so now we say that we want to add some authentication to our process because not everyone can see all of our pages. And how can we do that in TanStack Router? Well, again, we have our simple file route, and we're going to add a before load property. And here, we are going to make our request to see if the user is authenticated. In this case, I'm getting the first city. And then if the city doesn't exist, or if the user isn't authenticated, we throw a redirect to the home page. And I think it's cool because you don't see it flashing. But let's see it again. OK, so we have our before load option. You're doing more than you should be doing. OK, we do a request. Again, I'm using TRPC, but we can be doing a simple request here. It's just for the sake of type safety. And here we return the city. And I'm missing a bracket, which is also always good. OK, nice. We don't need the context. And now, instead of using the use search, I'm going to take it off from the... Oh, no. I'm confused. Wait. You should have... If the city doesn't exist, you're not paying attention to me. If the city doesn't exist, we're going to throw... No, we're going to redirect to the home page. Yes. OK, thank you. And we can take off the return here. OK, sorry. No, this isn't working. OK. Nice. OK, let's see if the city... Oh, the city does exist, so let's put this. If the city exists, we should be... OK, it's not working, and it's giving me an error. Because I didn't wait for the promise. You guys should be helping me. OK, come on. If the city exists, it should redirect, and I'm doing it on the index. Why is it not working? OK, let's do a refresh. Maybe if I go back here. Someone knows why this isn't working before. OK. No, but it does. I wanted to see the redirect to the home page because the city does exist. Get for city, yeah, this is returning the city, correct? Sorry? I'm not sure I understood what you said, but I think it's missing a throw. Yeah, OK. Yeah, thank you. OK, so it's working now. Oof. OK. Yeah, back on track. OK, now let's get back at our presentation, if my phone helps me as well. OK, let's go. OK, now we can talk about how we can mask our location, because sometimes we want the user to be seeing something, and we don't want to tell the whole truth. So how do we do that? Well, in the TanStack Router has a link component, as almost everything has. And we can mask our application. This link is going to go to the /mask page, but what will the user see is the /cities. And I can show you that working as well, hopefully, if the demo gods are with me today. I think I have this prepared. So yeah, we'll go to the masked cities. We see the yellow mask, and I can show you here on the code that on the mask we have yellow mask. And it seems like I'm saying Elon Musk, but I'm not. And here on the URL, we can see the cities page. I think it's pretty cool to see also the dev tools of the TanStack Router, because here it tells everything. Your state is all here. So you can see here on the status and the resolve location that the path name is /mask, but the masked location is /cities with the search string page equals 1. OK, this is cool to do when you want to, let's say, open a model or something like that, and don't want the user to be seeing that you have a specific page for that. And again, OK. OK, smart data fetching. That's where the TanStack DNA all kicks in, because you might know the TanStack folks from TanStack Query, and you know they care about the developer experience, DX, and a lot of those stuff. So here, if they created the TanStack Query, the smart data fetching on the router is going to work amazingly. So let's see how they do. OK, here we have the loader dependencies. So we can use the things from the validate search if you're doing a request to get all the cities, but you want to do that filtered by something, a page or even a string. you can use the dependencies from there, and then on the loader, we're going to get, in this case, our first city, and then return it to the component. And then on the component, we can use it with the use loader data, which I think is also pretty cool because it's type safe, it's all integrated, marvelous, with a lot of trouble. And we can also defer data. Let's say you know that a request takes a while to load, and you don't want the user to be stuck to that, waiting for that request to be made. Then you can do it by passing a promise to the loader instead of resolving it in the loader. And then on the component, you use the await, and I think, can you all see the code? Okay. And you await with the await, it's a component from TanStack Router, and you pass the promise, you pass the fallback while it's loading, and then it loads the data as you want it. And you can make the request start when you hover it. I'm going to show the code in a bit, so don't worry. Yeah. You can make the load start when you hover on a link to that page with the preload intent property that there's on the link. And I'm going to show you all of that now. Working, hopefully. OK, let's go to our index. And we have a loader, yeah, dependencies, and a loader. OK. And we pass the city with the user loader data, and then we load the city name. Our beautiful city. Not here, here. OK, let's go to cities. Oh, I still have the condition. OK. Now I can see it. Oh, not here. Cities. Yeah. Hello, cities, our beautiful city, Porto. So it's loading. Good thing. OK, let's see if we, not here, if we defer the data loading. Const promise cities. Yeah, and we don't await for this to be resolved. Yep. Oh. No, not that much. No. Go back. OK, nice. Promise cities. And now we await with the promise, which is going to be our promise cities. This is going to be our fallback. Fallback. Yep. There you go. There you go. OK. And I have an error because no, I didn't save it. OK, there's a queue, yeah. OK, so we see, let me put this blue so we can see the difference. I'm using Tailwind here. Cost name, text, blue, 500. OK, so we see that this is immediately loaded, but we wait a little bit for the Porto. But our page doesn't wait for that. And imagine the things that we can do with this. The user doesn't need to be waiting for the things to be resolved because they're loading in the meantime. And the cool thing is, let me see if we can see it here. When we hover it, OK, maybe on the, let me inspect and see the network. Sorry, OK, network bigger. Not that much, OK. We go to home, and when you hover, we see that the request get first city was made, and when we get there, we almost don't wait for this one, which I think is pretty cool. OK. So, OK, this isn't helping. my phone here today. OK, let's go. OK, so as a recap, now we know how to nest our routes and use the parameters as state. Imagine the possibilities of not having to have millions of states controlling the search parameters. And we know how to guard certain routes. We fetch data smarter, and we mask our location as we want. I hope you learned something today, or think of using TanStack Router after this talk. And thank you all for being here. Your presence matters a lot, because I know there's like 5 more tracks, so you being here really matters. Thank you all for everything. Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, for sure. Okay.
The biggest painful for us front-end developers to deal with new routing alternatives is that routing is the core of the platform. So actually, I have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
The first one is how you see TanStack Router against the other routing alternatives like React Router v7 and the next one. I don't know if you can say that's alternative, but it exists. And the second one is if I would change or refactor my app from a Node legacy React Router implementation to TanStack Router, it's easier to go with the TanStack Router, or refactor to full usage of the TanStack Start? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your question. Both of them. Well, first of all, the first one, the big difference between React Router and Next and TanStack Router is that the 2 first ones are frameworks. So you have to do a lot more things like the way they want than TanStack Router, because you can use this with other stuff. I'm using with TanStack React, but you don't have to. So it's more flexible in that way. And I think React Router v7 is now type safe, but it wasn't. Yeah. So, but when I used it, it was really game changing because it was really different. And yeah, I think that's that on the first question. And the second one, the advantages of use. Sorry, I can't remember. Oh, the migration. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. The migration, it depends on what you were using. If you were using something code-based, you can do it easier if you altern to the TanStack by using code-based routing as well, because you can do it that way. It's not the recommended way, but you can do it. And I think that's the only worry that you have to have, in my opinion. But that depends on the case as well. I'm not sure if I answered your questions, but I tried. Okay, nice. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, then thank you.